Hi guys, this is Compound Interest Stock Guy, and today we're going to talk about things that are probably better off to be spending your money to invest in than buying just stocks or ETFs or real estate investments right now, just with the way that the interest rates keep going up. So I want to talk about that today. I want to explain I'm also not a financial advisor. This is just for entertainment and information to help you guide you on the right direction to better wealth and building a better financial way of life. So okay, first off is if people have credit card debt, that is something that people should be spending throwing money at to lower their interest on every month, because if you have $10,000 in say a 20 or 30% interest rate on your credit card, that is going to be very expensive and it's going to be very hard to pay that off. So listen, if you had $10,000, which is not that hard to rack up, on 20 or 30% interest rate credit card, you're going to pay $2,000 to $3,000 every year. That's going to make it way harder for you to beat your budget. So if you say your budget for your life was $2,500 per month or $3,000 per month, and you have that $3,000 per year expenses on your credit card and it's not paid off, you're going to end up paying anywhere from like $250. So that's really going to wreck your budget. And even with interest rates for your line of credit, that will be affected too, because interest rates keep creeping up. So if you had, say, $10,000 and you're paying 10%, then you're going to pay about $1,000 or so every year. So that's going to be about $80 or $90 extra every month if you don't pay that off quickly. So that is something that people need to be aware of and focus on, so that they're better prepared for the way of life in the future, with interest rates most likely keep creeping up. Back in the 70s, there was interest rates closer to about 10 or 15% sometimes per year. And we've had really low interest rates in the last little while, and it's something people need to focus on, because if you can't pay it off now and you keep spending more and more money, well then your interest is going to keep going up, and it's going to make you further and further in debt and make you harder and harder to breathe and get out of that system. So again, I don't think that debt is always a bad thing. It can be an okay thing if it helps you grow your wealth in certain examples. But I'm not going to get into that. But if you just decide, oh, I'm going to buy a lot of stuff out at the mall and rack up your credit cards and spend $5,000 every few months, well then you're just going to put yourself in a really bad place. And that is something that I want to expose, and I want to explain to my listeners and my subscribers that this is not something that people should be doing in 2019. Even if they're thinking about investing into the stock market, this is actually one of the best investments, probably a lot safer than investing in the stock market, because you're going to lower your payments every month. So say if you had $1,000 of exposable money that you could throw into the stock market, but then you had $10,000 of debt, and you threw $1,000 every month, well then you would lower your interest rates and interest payments, and it would keep going down. So after a year you'd probably pay it off. And especially with as long as you didn't buy more stuff with that and you just stay focused on it. And so as well, if you had $10,000 on your credit card on a 25 or 30% interest rate, that could be really damaging for your life, like to pay off your debt. So on a $10,000 credit card, you could be paying about $2,500 to $3,000 every year on interest, and then the year after you're going to pay even more. It can be up to like $4,000 or $5,000. Like, it's just going to keep getting worse and worse, like the way it works with compound interest. And so it's something that people should focus on. It's not just about investing into the stock market that I want to emphasize on this channel. It's about creating better wealth for yourself. And yeah, so if you have $20,000 in credit cards or in line of credits, that is something that people need to be focusing on, because the interest rates, I don't believe, are going to go any lower. They're just going to keep going up, keep going up. And so you think, oh, well, it's not bad. You're only paying $100 a month on your interest. But then after, like, it could be like 6 or 12 months if you keep, it can grow to like $200 to $300. So you can't make your budget, and it's just going to make it harder and harder and put you in a worse position. I mean, it's really not good. So something that you should focus on, because those interest rates, I believe, are keep going up. And as well, if you're looking at buying a house or a condo, if you don't need to buy that big of a house, you almost need to, like, if they give you $300,000 to invest into a condo or something, you shouldn't even be leveraging it out that way, because eventually the interest rates are going to be a lot more expensive in a few years, I believe. So that the amount of money that you're paying on your monthly payments, if you're on a variable rate mortgage, or after your 3 years ended, you're going to be paying, say for now, I could get about 3.3% interest rate right now on my mortgage. But in a few years, it could go up to like 4.5 or 5 or 5.5 or 6%, and that's really, really tough if you have, say, $250,000. So instead of your monthly payments being like at where you're paying right now, it'll go up like 10 to 15% more, and that's going to really affect your expenses and your debt levels. So it's something that people really need to pay attention to, is getting rid of their credit card payments, any debt that they have on it, as much as they can. And I know it's not always easy, and it might take a while, but you just have to chip away at it, because it's really important to be able to focus on that. So in a few years, you can, when the interest rates are a lot higher, you're not in a bad position. So something people need to focus on. And also, even just your line of credits, because if you have, say, like $20,000 on your line of credit, and then the interest rate goes up at 1%, it affects it. You're going to pay another like $200 a year, and it just keeps getting worse and worse for people that are using their line of credit. It's crazy, just to buy things that they can't afford with their salaries and their living. So it's something that I really want to emphasize, is it's not just about investing in the stock market or ETFs. To invest into getting rid of your line of credit payments and credit card payments is very important, and it's crucial to securing your wealth and not being burdened with really expensive interest payments that people are going to have to pay in the next few years. So I mean, I just want to get to the basic level, and I wanted to explain this, and I really hope you enjoy this video.